My name is Tex Howard. We are down here at the Seaview Fishing Pier. Today's date is October the 15th, 2015, and it's approximately 20 minutes after 4 in the afternoon on a sunny evening, trying to catch some spots. We're not having much luck. So, but we're going to be here for a while, see how long it takes before they start coming in. I started fishing while I was in the military. Before I went into the military, I was sharecropper's son on a tobacco farm where we had tobacco, cotton, corn, soybeans. It was work basically all year. At the end of the year, you got almost nothing except for maybe a little food, maybe a coat, something like this, but that was about as much as you got. Well, to talk about tobacco, we start out about 2 o'clock in the morning, finish up somewhere around 6 o'clock, run back by the house, eat a bite of breakfast, and try to be in the field no later than 7:30. Anywhere from 7 to 7:30, you start cropping tobacco, breaking the leaves off. And in the afternoon, when all the croppers come out of the field after they finish cropping tobacco, they come to the barn and then they hang it in the barn. And it would run sometime until 9 o'clock at night. That was a day's work. And then you get off, go home, get a few hours of sleep, and then you get up in the morning, because a lot of time the children, that was the larger children, would be already promised out to the neighbors that we hope them work. So we go and help the neighbors take their tobacco out. And it went on till everybody in the community was through with their tobacco. And then sometimes you have to stay out of school to help finish up with the farm work. So, and that was part of the reason I got behind in school, stayed out working on the farm. But I dropped out after the 11th grade at the age of 19 and went into the military. The reason I went in the military, so I could have something for myself. As long as I was there with my dad, most of the work that I'd done was for the benefit of the family. The money was used to support the family. My dream was to have my own car. And I guess I kind of messed myself up because the way it is now, it seems like I got more cars than I need. But this is something I wanted. I pursued the goal, and I guess you might say I've reached the goal. And I know cars is not everything, but it's something that I work for. I'm in my own home. It's not that great of a home, but it's mine. All of my children at least had a high school education and the opportunity to go to college if they wanted to. Some did and some didn't. So, all in all, I've had a pretty good life. The military has its pros and cons. And as far as to compare with sharecropping, it was all pros. Number one reason is sharecropping, everything you earned was split in half. You never got all of your earnings. In the military, the things that you worked or whatever your pay were, that's what you got. You didn't have to share it with nobody. There are benefits. You had a home. You had somewhere to stay. You had somewhere to eat. And you got paid. It wasn't that much, but it was yours. Right after I got in the military, we was issued our clothing allowance. I had more suits, more work clothes than I never had in my life. 2 pair of boots and a dress shoe, a dress slipper. I wasn't accustomed to that. And nowadays it seems like, wow, that ain't nothing, 2 suits, 4 utility uniforms, work clothes, and 2 combat boots or to work in, and plus a pair of dress slippers. At home, you're doing good to have 1 pair of shoes, and you wore that shoe to school, to work, if you worked in them. You might be barefooted out there sometime, and to church or wherever you had to go. And when those shoes got bad, the soles, I wore shoes to school that you had to use a small wire to wire the sole onto the shoe covering itself so you can have shoes to go to school in. And I haven't done that since. So that's the difference from being a sharecropper and being in the military. My dad didn't want me to go because he needed me there to help him work. At first, I kind of fought at him, but then as I got grown and looked back, I kind of felt sorry for the way things were. My mother, she didn't want me to go in, period, because at the time I was going in, the war had already started in Vietnam. It was kind of hard on her, but in my mind, I had to go. This is the only way. Actually, it was kind of like getting free from the stuff I was accustomed to.